Whenever we see predators chasing their prey, we feel that the poor victims are defenseless. However, in this video, we've gathered videos of predators recognizing the people who saved them. If you like being moved, let's watch these 9 moments together from now on. Have you ever thought that a crocodile and a human could become friends? Take a look at this video. Many people are gathered, watching something. Then, a man suddenly takes off his clothes and goes into the water. Right away, a crocodile with terrifying teeth appears with him. People must have screamed and backed away, right? But surprisingly, this crocodile looks extremely friendly with the man. They take care of each other like family. People around them are in complete shock. How can a person be this close to a crocodile? They say. It turns out that this man is called Chito. He's had a rather long relationship with this crocodile. When it was young and injured, Chito found it by chance. For days and months, he treated the crocodile and fed it. Then, when its condition improved, he released the crocodile back into the wild. Normally, that would be the end of it, right? But surprisingly, the crocodile came back to him not long after. From that moment on, they became inseparable friends. A man's friendship with a carnivore that has terrifying teeth. Just hearing about it is astonishing, isn't it? People around them saw this and were speechless with amazement. Honestly, at first glance, anyone would be scared. But once you see it, the crocodile becomes as gentle as a lamb in Chito's arms. The reversal of this sight is so shocking that it's even more surprising. Seeing a carnivore that looks so dangerous living like family with a human, people's curiosity exploded. How on earth is this possible? The question kept growing. Because of that, Chito's story is still spreading around the world.
That man is the only one who can pull off those moves with a crocodile.
No, that's not always the case. Take a look at this video. A man is looking at a quiet pond. The atmosphere seems peaceful, but suddenly he calls the crocodile's name. But his voice is so gentle, like calling a baby. So I thought, what's going on? And then, right at that moment, a huge crocodile with scary eyes comes approaching from the pond. At first, it's only natural to get goosebumps and be startled, right? But what's more surprising is that this crocodile is a pet crocodile. In fact, there are many opinions that crocodiles are good as pets. Crocodiles are unexpectedly quite intelligent animals. They're perceived to have less complex problem-solving abilities than other mammals or birds, but according to actual experiments, they have a very high ability to learn and repeat specific behaviors. There's even research suggesting they can be trained to respond to simple commands or sounds. Of course, it's still unfamiliar to many of us, but in some countries, people do keep crocodiles as pets. It's certainly not as easy as approaching a typical dog or cat, though. Still, if a crocodile is curious about humans and is quite intelligent, then some level of closeness can develop. This man and his crocodile accept each other so naturally. The man hugs and pats the crocodile, and there's no sense of danger at all. It's strangely affectionate, so everyone who sees it exclaims, "Is this even possible?" They're exchanging what looks like family affection, and even though the crocodile is big enough to swallow someone in one bite, the man shows no fear at all. In fact, it's so friendly that onlookers are too shocked to say a word. Sometimes the crocodile even hops around, and that's strangely cute. A hopping crocodile, isn't that scary? You might say. But seeing it hopping like that, it's kind of cute, isn't it? Of course, you can't just recklessly approach any crocodile and try to befriend it. Crocodiles are carnivores, and one moment of mistake could lead to a big accident.
The more I watch, the cuter it seems. Kind of like a puppy, and with those palm trees and iron bars, it's got a Jurassic Park vibe.
Can you touch a shark? On a beach, a man and a shark encounter each other. At that moment, the shark reveals its fearsome teeth. Honestly, if you reach out your hand without caution, you could lose it entirely, right? But actually, the man is a fisherman. In the past, he caught a baby shark caught in a net and released it. And sometime later, the shark came back, recognized the man, it didn't attack him. Instead, it even let him feed it and pet it. Everyone who saw this was shocked. The video achieved countless views as soon as it spread. But are sharks really smart enough to bond with humans? In fact, sharks are known to have pretty good learning abilities. They can learn and remember specific behaviors or environments. So some sharks recognize people who took care of them and don't see them as targets of attack, but rather treat them like companions. However, realistically, it's almost impossible to befriend a shark from its childhood in the wild. So when this story got out, people questioned its authenticity. It turned out that the story of the great white shark and the man's friendship first appeared in a fishing magazine, and it was actually a fake article created as a special feature. The fishing magazine fished everyone for real. People were disappointed, saying, "Wow, I believed it." Still, the fact that someone even tried to touch a shark up close seems incredibly brave. So did the shark really like the man, or did it see him as prey while approaching? My innocent dreams were shattered right there.
Ma'am, that's not a dolphin.
Do you know what kind of sound a hyena makes? Late at night, outside the walled city of Harar in Ethiopia. It's pitch dark, and you can hear the eerie cries of hyenas everywhere. Most people would be so scared they'd hide inside their houses. But at that moment, a man approaches quietly carrying a large bucket. Inside that bucket, there's food for the hyenas. Hyenas the size of his body approach him in groups. Surprisingly, they don't all pounce at once. They wait quietly in line and eat one at a time. Even more surprising is that the man puts the food in his mouth and offers it to the hyenas, and the hyena carefully approaches and takes it, looking as if they made some kind of peaceful agreement. The person filming even tried feeding the hyenas themselves. This man is famous locally for being Hyena Man, renowned for his long friendship with wild hyenas. We usually think of hyenas as fierce and dangerous, right? But actually, hyenas are pretty smart, playful, and sociable. Some research suggests a hyena pack has the group intelligence equivalent to that of a 3- or 4-year-old human child. They also show high-level social behavior, like hierarchy and teamwork, with problem-solving abilities, according to research.
So hyenas can get that big?
The bigger ones can get even larger than these. The reason these hyenas don't attack the man is simple. He's like a benefactor who brings them food so they don't have to hunt. The hyenas know there's no reason to attack a free food source. The more he feeds them, the more comfortable they become, and they respect each other and build a bond. Over time, they gradually become tamed, and eventually, both the man and the hyenas trust and rely on each other. Of course, not just anyone can go and feed hyenas. In dangerous situations, they could act unpredictably. However, the example of this hyena man shows a completely different side of these supposedly vicious wild animals. It's amazing to see hyenas and humans living this peacefully.
A poor creature whose image got worse because of the Lion King. I love hyenas.
Do you know what wolves do when they acknowledge someone as part of their family? A woman reunited with some wolves after a long time. The wolves come running like crazy from afar, and the moment they see her, they lick her face. Actually, this woman raised these wolves since they were young. The wolves seem to consider her a family member. They wag their tails happily, and though they're all tangled together, they treat her gently. It's like puppies running to their mom. Sometimes the wolves get jealous of each other, fighting over who gets to go to her first. It looks a bit rough, but it's also very endearing. By the way, wolves are said to be more clever than dogs. Some research suggests they have the intelligence of a 2- or 3-year-old human child. Of course, it's difficult to tame them like a complete pet, but there are occasional reports that if they grow up with someone from a young age, they can become friends.
That tail wagging is making this video feel so wholesome.
Check out this video. In a deep forest, a man is howling along with wolves. This man is Wolfman Sean Ellis. He lives among wolf packs to study their behavior, and he's so famous he's called the Wolf Human. His videos have an enormous number of views, and overseas he's almost universally known. Sean Ellis lives like family with the wolves he adopted, analyzing their habits and drawing inspiration from their lifestyles.
That man also looks like a real wolf. Maybe it's the beard.
Right. But for ordinary people, it's still dangerous to approach wolves without caution. Wolves are powerful predators in the wild. If you approach incorrectly, they might bite or attack by instinct. Sean Ellis was able to become close to them because he spent a lot of time living with them and earned their trust, a special case.
If you throw me to the wolf pack, I'll come back leading the pack.
You're just delivery food. People who want to befriend wolves like that man, please subscribe. A giant leopard is completely pinning a man down. It looks very dangerous. But on a closer look, the leopard isn't attacking the man. It's licking him and rubbing against him, showing affection. Actually, this man raised the leopard since it was little. Whenever they meet after a long time, the leopard greets him with a kiss, which is thrilling yet very cute. Leopards are also quite intelligent, so they remember the face and smell of the person who raised them. That's why it runs up so excitedly.
That leopard is so cute. I just want to give it a treat or something.
However, leopards are among the most powerful big cats, both fast and strong. There have been quite a few cases of people being attacked and injured by leopards in the wild. If you encounter a leopard abroad, never get close. Don't make eye contact and slowly back away. That's the basic rule. Suddenly running or shouting could provoke the leopard's hunting instincts. In a zoo, a trainer opens a huge door. Then, a gigantic lion appears with overwhelming presence. Most people would be terrified right away, but a man reaches out his arms toward the lion. As soon as the lion sees him, it runs over like a puppy, sliding on the ground. and with its huge body, it gives its owner a big hug. That scene is so lovely and adorable. But the cameraman is still hiding behind a glass wall. We can guess why he's hiding. Yet in front of its owner, the lion goes into total puppy mode. You can see real affection in the lion's eyes, warming the hearts of those watching. Lions also have decent intelligence, so they remember the people who took care of them for a long time. But of course, it's absolutely forbidden to approach a wild lion. Everyone knows that, right?
That person isn't its owner. He's its dad.
In a wide meadow reserve, chimpanzees roam freely. Meanwhile, a chimpanzee sitting up high is staring at a woman who's coming from a distance. Turns out, this woman was the one who nursed a young chimpanzee back to health. When it was adopted and sick, she took care of it. She cautiously approached, wondering if the chimpanzee would remember her. The chimpanzees also watched her with great curiosity. But as they got closer, one chimpanzee studied her carefully and suddenly gave a big smile and hugged her tightly with both arms. You could feel how much they missed each other by the look in their eyes. Some humans treat animals carelessly, but the chimpanzee was still open-hearted to people. The woman said in an interview, "If he remembers me, he also remembers those painful days, so it makes me a little sad." This video got a ton of views. When the chimpanzee smiled, many people shed tears. Even adults said they should watch this alone because it's so moving. Seeing things like this makes us realize the world is still warm, and animals are such lovable beings that need protection. Chimpanzees rank among the most intelligent of the primates. They use simple tools, learn language gestures, and show cognitive abilities comparable to a 4 or 5-year-old child, according to research. These special bonds between humans and animals are always surprising. Stories about dangerous, fierce predators living like family with humans, whether from a young age or after a long time of care, make the world feel a bit warmer. But we should always be cautious about meeting wild animals, and remember it could be stressful for them as well. Still, when we see moments like this, it's amazing to think that we and animals can connect with each other.
This is the most perfect hug I've ever seen.
Right? Anyone who wishes all humans were this kind and gentle to animals, please hit like. In the middle of a wide road, the filmer who's returning home after a long time is standing there. Today is the first time in 2 years he's come back. He feels excited but also strangely nervous, right? Then someone appears from far away. A person is walking slowly with a dog. The moment the dog sees the filmer, it starts barking like crazy. As if it's trying to protect its owner, it's quite aggressive. After 2 years, it doesn't recognize the filmer at all. The filmer is flustered and can't take a step easily. But if you look closely, the dog's tail is wagging. Thinking, could it possibly remember me? He watches. The dog's owner calls its name and signals for the filmer to come closer. The dog initially looks at him with suspicion and sniffs him, then suddenly wags its tail like crazy and runs toward the filmer. It recognized that he's its owner. From that moment on, it greets him with the happiest, most enthusiastic welcome. Isn't a dog's explosive greeting for its owner after 2 years just adorable? And the next dog that appears, maybe he is an introvert. Still, it seems to be welcoming too, so it's cute as well.